This is a power play between an extremely strong vested interest, as in many other democracies, because they are able to get together. And if you have the numbers in a democracy, then the state will make way and compromise with you. It is not new in democracies. Similar farmers groups in the USA, in Japan, in the European Union, all of those, they have paralyzed countries, they have blocked roads, and they have got themselves enormous subsidies which are not available to others. They are not available to the tailors, tinkers, bakers, all the others. It's available only to farmers because they are able to get together. And if you have the numbers in a democracy, then the state will make way and compromise with you. So right now, they have blockaded all these areas. The argument is exceedingly weak. I mean, they claim that, you are going to be abolishing minimum support prices for Punjab farmers. They've been told 100 times this is not going to happen. I mean, let's face it, we have a Food Security Act under which the government is obliged to give 20-30 kilos of very, very cheap grain to every household. How can you possibly do that unless you have procurement? So obviously procurement cannot be abolished. And yet the farmers are going on the rampage claiming, you're going to abolish MSPs and abolish procurement. I mean, the argument is so bogus, I don't know what to say. But as I say, in a particular democracy, such people will have their way. Ashok Gulati had calculated that if you take just the power subsidy and fertilizer subsidy, the average Punjab farm household is getting a subsidy of 1.2 lakhs per year. And of course, we all know that this land size, farm sizes have come down. Punjab farms are relatively big, but the average for India is only 1 hectare. But sir, in Punjab, 1 hectare of land is 2.5 crores. So the so-called small Punjab farmer is a lakhpati in subsidies and a crorepati in land assets. So I mean, before you start weeping tears for this poor fellow, please compare his position to that with all the other people. And look at every street seller, look at every cobbler, look at every tailor, look at everybody in every small industry. Does any of them give guaranteed prices? Or does the government come and support them at whatever at a price, whether or not the country needs it? No, it's only for farmers. So I said the farmers in national terms have zero case. However, in a democracy, you will have to make peace with them. So various formula are being suggested. Some people are saying, let's have a 6-month standstill agreement. Let's give this up for 6 months. Ashok Gulati says, let us promise them a 20,000 crore program to move them away from this rice and wheat rotation to other high value crops, fruit, vegetables, dairy. I mean, you can try all these, but please, I would say at the end of it all, be clear, this is a power play. This is a power play between an extremely strong vested interest, as in many other democracies. And you will have to give way to them, just as other democracies have given way. I am told in South Korea, farmers are getting 10 times the world price for some items. So thankfully, we have not quite gone that far. But I think the main point we need to say is that, look, if your minimum support, it's fine. If there's a crash in prices, the government needs to support it. But if price is above the world price, then it means you cannot export it because there is no world demand and there is no domestic demand either. This is why prices are crashing. What is the point of subsidizing people to produce something for which there is no demand in India and no demand in the rest of the world? So at the very least, I would say that whatever compromise, the minimum support price should be linked to the world price. So that, okay, we are going to buy so much from you guys, we will buy it. But please don't expect it to be bought at such a high price that there is no demand for it either in India or abroad. Please switch to some other crops. If necessary, you increase the minimum support from some other crops which can easily be grown in Punjab, like for instance maize, which needs much less water. The one good thing that has happened is that basmati production has gone up. There is no minimum support. I mean, there is no compulsory procurement of basmati, but it needs only 2/3 of the amount of water of ordinary rice. So the use of that does not destroy all the aquifers. But here are the farmers who are the richest farmers in India. These are the guys who are destroying all the underground aquifers by over pumping in Punjab. They are the guys who are burning their stubble. And as a result, they are killing or maiming thousands of people in Delhi and neighboring states. These are not people who deserve our sympathy, but we will have to deal with them as an important force in society. So let us have a negotiation. And I do hope that the skills of the BJP are enough to bring about some kind of rapprochement.